Hi, I'm Lisa Hayden with Community Focus on Washington County, Channel 6, Central Kentucky TV. Today, my guest is Larry Hodge. Welcome, Larry.
Thank you, Lisa. Thank you very much.
Larry is a horse trainer and has, not just recently, but in the last several years, received lots of awards and accolades for his world-renowned horse training.
Thank you.
So, congratulations to you, Larry, on all the awards you have received.
Thank you very much.
And I know the latest has been the United Horsemen's Hall of Fame. Is that correct?
That's correct, yes.
Okay. So, and then also into the Kentucky State Fair Hall of Fame.
That's right.
So tell me about these things, Larry.
Well, I don't know how it all came about. I started as a kid, with ponies, and I'm from Tennessee originally. And I've been in Washington County, well, I've been in Kentucky since the early 1970s. And I worked in Danville for a really good trainer, Garland Bradshaw, who was kind of the king of the trainers at that time. I was kind of like I tell everyone, that's my college education in the horse business. And it's just something that's God-given talent, I guess. I relate it to coaching, football or basketball and all this, the material you have to work with. And I've been fortunate. I mean, everybody says, you're really lucky, you're really lucky, but I always felt like you make your luck. You got to have the material to work with, which is like Kentucky basketball recruits. We go out and try to find the best young horse material we can find, 2- and 3-year-olds, and then develop them. Or a finished horse. We've trained for people all over the country. I've got about 15 people that work for me. 2 assistant trainers. My main assistant trainer is from England. He's been with me about 12 years, and then his girlfriend, Kelly Self, back up, Danny Lockhart. He's my assistant now. He's from England, and then his girlfriend, Kelly Self, is from Michigan, and she grew up riding horses and was riding as a kid. But they're both just excellent. It's, you got to surround yourself with good people, and good people and good horses. And I've been fortunate to have some of the best staff. I've got guys that's been with me ever since I've been in here, 40 years. That's worked with me, grooms and people over the years. I don't like a lot of turnover. So anyway, it's just been very fortunate, and we've trained for some of the main people. One of my main customers is Ms. D. Wrigley Miller, who's Wrigley Chewing Gum. They got about 12 horses in training with me. And
now, is that out, where do you keep your horses? Is that Kalarama?
They're all at Kalarama, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we've got 40-some horses in training. We train every day. We'll go up this fall. We'll bring in young horses. We'll have as many as 50 some, and then we'll go through them and keep the better ones. And well, we try to keep an even number of 40, which we do. We stay full and have a waiting list of people wanting us to train horses. But we feel like to do the job that we can do, we don't want to get overloaded, our workload. We won't keep it the same amount, around 40 is what we can do, the 3 of us can do comfortably.
Yeah. Provide excellent service that way.
Well, we try to.
And now, Larry, these are what kind of?
It's American saddlebred horses. They started during the Civil War. There's a lot of the generals and all rode saddlebreds during the Civil War.
I think General Washington, President Washington.
He did, yeah.
Had a saddlebred.
Yeah, and they were popular in this area because they were smooth riding horses and classy looking horses. And then I think probably after the war they started, people have contests, who had the prettiest horse or the fanciest horse, and that's when the horse show started back long time ago, and then it developed from that.
Yeah. Well, I suppose it was going on in England before we even came to the United States. Is that correct?
That's true, yeah. There's a lot of breeds over there, and it started there, and then you know, it's just I think it's got in my blood. You know, everybody says, how'd you get into it? And I said, well, I just started as a kid, and it's something I like, something that's good. It's fun to have a profession that you're good at, that you enjoy, and it seems more like work than play. I mean, it is hard work, but I enjoy doing what I do. You know, but it's hard on the body.
More play than work.
Well, no, not really. We travel a lot. We travel all over the United States, and a lot of hard hours. I mean, but it's hard on the body. You know, and it's people think just sitting on a horse. You know, but it's you got to be fit, and just like playing basketball or football or any other sport, you got to be really fit to do this. So.
And I know you're up at the crack of dawn, aren't you?
Yeah, we start early. We try to beat, well, you can't beat the heat and this humidity, but we start early, and we try to finish around noon or 1 or 2 o'clock. And,
so are you indoors in the arena?
We have an indoor arena. We could train year round, rain or shine. We have 2 arenas, and then we have outdoor rings and outside facilities too. But we in the winter we have a heated facility arena, so we go rain or shine no matter what we're working.
Well, I know you all used to do school groups that come in and show them. Do you still do that? Or?
We do, yeah. Krista Thompson, our secretary, does that. She kind of gives tours, but we have a lot of school kids that come in, like take a day, and then the rest homes right across from the farm there. We have a lot of people come over. We had a group over not long ago and set out, the ones that were able to come over and visit, and we put on a little mini horse show farm, worked a few horses, so they enjoyed that very much. But we try to do that for the community. I know a lot of people. We had a famous horse. He just died 2 years ago. His name was Harlem Globetrotter, and he was a 5-time world champion, a black stallion. And we had him from the time he was 2. He lived until he was 33. And a lot of the school kids, or I see a lot of people, sometimes I might be out to dinner, and they said, "Oh, you're Larry Hodge?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "Oh, I was up there when I was a kid at Kalarama, and I saw Globetrotters." So that's neat to be a part of that. So.
Yeah. Well, now, because you've had some, you and Joan have had horses that are world champions, several.
Yes, we had many world champions. We were, I don't even know, I don't keep score, but it's getting up there pretty good. A lot of the coaches, and I'll keep, win-loss record, but I don't, I keep it, I know somewhat, but it's we've had a lot. Arena, when people go up there, we have all the signs up there, and it's pretty amazing at Kalarama. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
In the arena.
Yeah,
up there,
in the arena.
Yeah, the signs are.
And then the world, of course, the World Champion Horse Show is every year at the Kentucky State Fair.
That's correct.
And so, fortunately, you don't have too far to go.
No, an hour. We'll start setting up like the Monday before we ship in. It starts on Saturday now. They moved it up a day. So we'll ship in there probably on Friday when the fair starts. And then we'll be there the whole week. And that's we go day and night there. We work all night training the horses and getting ready for the next performance. We'll have probably 30 down there, which is one of the bigger stables in the country. And I remember when I started out, had 1 or 2 or 3 down there. Now we'll go right at 30 this year, and looking forward to it. We got a lot of nice new horses and young ones coming on, so we hoping to do pretty well, hopefully.
And so now in the competitions, there are several different competitions, and I don't know all those. There's, I guess, jumping and gated.
Well, it's not the jumping. We just have the gated. The fine harness. That's the ones that pull the 4-wheel buggies, and then we have roasters. That's the 2-wheel. Some of those are standard breds, but we have them from there'll be some children there, 5 and 6 years old, showing all the way up to the adults. I show in open division. I have a lot of amateur riders there. I have junior exhibitor, which is for riders 17 and under. And then we've got 2 riders in our barn now that's 13 and under.
Are they from here in Washington County?
Well, one of them's my granddaughter. She'll be showing in the 13 and under.
Oh, cool.
And they live in Versailles. And the others, one, the 13-year-old lives in Lexington, and the other one, well, he's 14 now. They're from North Carolina. So I have them from North Carolina. I got people in Florida. I've had California, just all over the United States that have horses up here.
So they come in and ride their own
They
horses?
come in and ride and practice. We train their horses, and then they'll come in when they can and practice and get ready for the performances. So we have a lot of people in and out of Springfield and town, you know. Then I've even got one that's got their own helicopter, and they fly it in to practice, and then they live in Paris, Kentucky, so they'll fly down and practice and then go back. So,
I swear. Well, now, of course, you know, you were inducted into the Hall of Fame at the Kentucky State Fair for the national championships. And that, Larry, that was for your riding, correct?
Yeah, that was for, you know, because I'd shown down there so many years. And I guess it's the success that our horses had had over the years, and which was a great honor. I mean, it's an honor to be recognized by your peers, anything you do, and I've been fortunate to been able to do that. And then I got inducted into my high school Hall of Fame, which was a big surprise, and that was for people that had reached, you know, high goal in their profession, and that was a neat thing to do.
And that was in Tennessee.
That was in Tennessee. That's in Knoxville, yes.
In Knoxville at your high school. What was the name of it?
Hall's High School.
Hall's High School.
Yeah, it was just a very small school at the time I went, and now it's one of the bigger schools down there. So it's grown a lot.
So you went back for that.
Yeah.
That was probably fun, seeing all your old classmates.
Yeah, that was neat. I saw a few of them. Then I went to the United Professional Horsemen Association Hall of Fame. That was our convention. We have a convention every year, different places, and that was in Boston back in January. And that was for the, you know, they called it the Tom Moore Hall of Fame. Tom Moore was a famous trainer in Harrodsburg, Kentucky. He was from Illinois originally, but so that was a great honor to be inducted into that. And Wayne Lucas, who the famous thoroughbred trainer, was there, and I met him. He was a speaker at our convention, and they introduced me to him and said he knew my son Max, who works at Fasig-Tipton with thoroughbreds, and they told him who I was. Said he's been inducted into the Hall of Fame, and he said, well, you know, they put me in, and said these young guys think they just want to put you in the Hall of Fame, then you'll step aside. But he said, I could tell you're not going to. And I told him when I did my acceptance speech, I told him, I said, I've got several more runs left in me, so so the young guys, I mean, we could still hang there with them pretty good.
Probably better than a lot of them, because you know, as you said, it requires staying fit.
Yes.
And I know you're out in that heat and working those horses and riding the horses, and as you mentioned, it's hard work.
Yes, it is. You know, it keeps you on your toes, and then dealing with people. You know, we buy and sell a lot of horses, and you know, I fly around the country a lot and look at horses. Look at, like us related earlier to a prospect. You know. And I'm on the go all the time. You know, we go year round. After the state fair, we'll have 3 or 4 shows. Well, Kansas City, Missouri, the middle of November will be our last show of the year. And then we'll start back again in March in Florida, in Tampa, Florida. So we go almost year round.
Oh.
But we're always training horses. Breaking a lot of young horses in the fall and winter, and then I'm flying around looking at different horses all over the country. If I hear of a good prospect, I'll usually, you know, have scouts around the country, and I'll jump on a plane and go look, or they'll send me a video or something, and if it looks good enough, I'll go myself and check it out. So.
And so, as you mentioned, you had was it the Wrigleys you said that
Yes.
have several of their horses?
Yeah, and I've
so-
got Ted Turner's daughter has been with me. Like, she's almost 20 some years since she's been up here. It's interesting.
her
Her horses, yeah, she rides
uh-huh.
here with me. She's been there 20, almost 30 years.
Uh-huh.
She'll get mad if she sees this. It's she's in her 20 some years. She corrected me the other day. I said, "You've been here 30 years." But anyway, it's interesting. The Wrigley, they moved to Kentucky because of the saddlebred horses. Bought a place in Paris. Now they've got like 2,000 acres there. And then Jenny Turner has a place on Paris Pike in Lexington. She did have a farm in Paris, and then she sold it. And then she's got a farm in Lexington, and they moved here because of Kalarama, because of the horses. And I've got another client from Atlanta that has a place in Lexington now. They've had 2 homes here in Springfield.
Is that Elizabeth?
Well, Elizabeth Goff, that's another one that she leases my house out at Simstown and lived there. She's been here 20 some years.
Yeah.
So she came in for Kalarama and the horses, and then the Renslers, they're from Atlanta, and they had a home here, and they had 2 homes here and sold them. Now they got a place in Lexington.
They had 2 homes in Springfield?
Yes. Yeah, they bought and sold.
Uh-huh.
So this, I mean, it's broad. A lot of people don't realize that, but we don't.
Oh, you bring a lot
we
into
bring
our
a lot
economy.
of people in and
Yeah.
into the state also. So.
Yeah.
And then there's others. Matter of fact, the new client from North Carolina just bought a older building in Midway. They're fixing up for an apartment. So they're from around Winston-Salem, North Carolina. So this was in the last month or so they bought this place. So they came to me last year. So then they're on Kentucky property now. So, I mean, that's just one operation we have that's brought all those people in.
Yeah. That's just amazing.
Yeah, and they all love Springfield. They like it here, and they like Washington County. They use, like the restaurants. I mean, we go to Mordecai's and Sacconi's, and they all know the restaurants and know Springfield. I've got another client matter of fact, from Chicago, and they bought a place in Lexington. So they'll come in and stay, and then come down and see their horses. But and then they bought a lot of antiques and stuff here in town. So it's just when I get to think about it, it's surprising the people that come in and and it has helped. I mean, they like the small town atmosphere. Yeah, and people remember them. They talk about how friendly everyone is here, which is nice.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
well, it is. It's a wonderful thing, to have Kalarama here, and you're world renowned, and I think you've helped make that, and so we're happy about that.
Yeah, well,
and we thank you for your contribution here.
Well, and I like it. It's home now. Like I say, it's always good to come home. I've traveled a lot. I've been in a lot of foreign countries and all around, and it's always good to come home. And Springfield's home now. Like I say, I grew up in Tennessee and all, and it's changed so much down there. I'm kind of lost when I go down there now, but Springfield's stayed pretty much the same. But although it has grown quite a bit since I came here, because I think we used to just have the Dairy Queen up on Lebanon Hill when I first came here. Is the only thing here now.
Dairy Freeze.
Dairy Freeze, yeah. That was the only thing that was here. Now we've got McDonald's, Wendy's, Hardy, and the shopping center. And so I've seen a lot of change too here.
Yeah. So. Well, now when you first came here, did you start out at the farm on Perryville Road?
Yeah. Yes.
What was the name?
High Point Farm.
High Point.
High Point Farm, yes. Tom Biederman owned that, and he got killed in an automobile accident. And I was working for Mr. Bradshaw, Garland Bradshaw in Danville. He owned all the property, it's where Cracker Barrel is now, and Lowe's and all that. He owned 400 or 500 acres there in that area, and that was before the road came through and all. And I was working for him, and Tom Biederman got killed in a car accident, and then his family came to Mr. Bradshaw and asked him what to do with the horses. So he suggested that they sell the horses. So he sent me down here to get the horses prepared for a dispersal sale. So that was in the around 70 or 71.
So you were working in Danville
I was
at that
working in
point.
Danville, yes. And then he
At
sent-
at his farm.
At his farm. I was an assistant trainer there.
Uh-huh.
And I was really supposed to go back there after the sale, and then I ended up staying down here. I asked him, I told him I liked it down here, so I ended up leasing the barn at High Point. We had a sale. I think there's 70-some horses, and we sold all those in one day. And then I ended up leasing that barn and started my own training business there with just one or two customers. And then I was there for a few years, and I ended up leasing the Kalarama training facilities. And I've been here ever since. And that was in the, I think, mid-70s that I came to
Well, now that
Kalarama.
was when Paul Hamilton
That's correct.
had it then.
That's right.
And then Joan took over from
Joan
Paul.
took over the
and-
breeding operation. I've always had the training operation. I leased the training facilities from Mr. Hamilton. And then Joan was in the, they were in the coal business. She was working in the mountains and then they sold that out, and then she came home and started the breeding operation, which she operates under Kalarama Stud. That's the breeding. She has the brood mares and the babies, and raises colts and breeds mares, and then I have the training facility.
I see.
So we have
Okay.
actually two separate operations.
And hers is called Kalarama.
Kalarama Stud.
And yours is
Kalarama Farm.
Kalarama Farm.
That's correct.
I see. Well, we're glad that both of them are here.
Well, yeah, we
And
enjoyed
both of
it.
you all have, really done so much to make that such a fine operation, and bringing a lot of good folks in here. So we're happy about that. And then I have to mention that you have two sons, and you say one is training now with.
Well, he's actually, it's a sales company. It belongs to the Arabs. He travels all over the country. It's Phasic Tipton. They're a competitor to Keeneland, and they have select yearling sales. And matter of fact, he's in Saratoga, New York now. They have a racing, and they'll have a big sale up there, and they sell millions of dollars worth of horses at that sale. And he travels all over the country too, inspecting yearlings and all, and he knows all the thoroughbred trainers and all. I don't know much about. Everybody thinks,
When you're
that
in the
I know-
horse business,
yeah, the
you
horse
know.
business and all. But I mean, he has done very well in that. He's vice president of it now. He's came up. He's been there, I think, 16 or 17 years.
Now, what's his name?
His name is Max.
Max,
He's
okay.
named after my father. And then my oldest son, who went to St. Catherine's. He's a lawyer in Columbus, Ohio.
Now, what's his name?
His name is David.
Okay, he's the younger one.
No,
I mean, he's the older
he's the
one.
oldest. Yeah,
Max is probably
Max
the
is-
one
yeah. Yeah, but David went to St. Catherine's, and he said he loved St. Catherine's. He lived here, and he just can't say enough good things about St. Catherine's, because he went there for his 2 years, and then he went to graduate from University of Kentucky. Both of them graduated from the University of Kentucky. And David lives in Columbus, Ohio now, and his wife's a lawyer also. And then Max lives in Versailles, and his wife was a school teacher. Now he's got 4 daughters, so she's got her hands full, so she's takes care of them now. And
So you got a lot of grandchildren
got
there.
7. Yeah.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
And do they? Of course, they grew up here in Springfield, didn't they?
They were,
Or-
here in and out a lot. They spent the summers here, but they got roots here, and then they go out to the farm out of Simstown. They spend a lot of time out there, and in and out. So there's a lake out there, and they come and spend a lot of weekends out there.
Oh, well,
at Simstown,
good, good.
so-
So they do get to come in and visit.
Yeah,
and
they're in
bring
and out
the,
here a lot. Yeah.
Bring the grandkids.
Right.
Well, that's really good. Yeah. So, well, I just want to, I'm so glad you were able to be on today. And
well, thank you for having me. I didn't know what you were getting me into when you called me. You never know about you.
No, that wasn't so bad, was
No,
it?
it wasn't at all. It wasn't bad as I thought it would be. No, I'm getting better about it now.
I didn't embarrass you,
no,
did I?
used to I would have been petrified, but now I'm getting better. I guess as I get older, I get more relaxed.
Well, that's good. That's good. Well, we do. I mean, I know it might have been a little uncomfortable for you, but
No,
you know,
it
it's
was
good
fine.
for our viewing audience to know what's and to know about Kalarama and the contributions that you all have made to our community. I mean, you know, it's not unusual for me to go into Mordecai's and see you with a whole table of people, or Joan, or you know, and just
Right.
and those are people I know that you've brought into the community, and that's really good.
Yeah,
That's
we
good
have a
for
lot of people
Springfield.
in and out. Matter of fact, I had some people flew in from Dallas yesterday and bought a horse. You know, and flew in and looked and then went back and then called me. Well, they were actually here Monday and then called me back yesterday and said they would take it. So that's good. So we have people in and out like that a lot. A lot of people sometimes will fly in to the Springfield airport. Even these people flew into Louisville and rented a car and then came down. But we have that all. We have a constant flow of people in and out all the time.
And to think that you have all those employees. How many employees? 40? 30?
No. Well,
Or-
it's 15 with me, and then
15.
the Jones operations, she has 5 or 6 down there. So
Uh-huh.
there's
Uh-huh.
and
40
they're all
I guess I'm thinking 40 horses.
40 horses. Yes,
Yeah.
that's right. But
Yeah.
and then all the employees, they they have roots here. They have family. Most of their children went to Washington County. Actually, one of the guys has been with me a long time. His daughter graduated from Campbellsville University. Now she's working at UK, so she drives back and forth to Springfield to Lexington every day. So just a lot of things,
Yeah.
you know.
A lot of things going on.
Going on, yeah.
And now you're preparing for the state fair.
That's right, yeah, that's
For the
our
World
big one.
Championship Horse Fair.
That's right.
So now, what horses do you have that are going to be in that this year? What are some of their names?
Oh, we've got
The
a
big ones that might be vying for the World Championship.
big one. Future Ed is a fine harness mare. Belongs to, she belonged to an Arabian trainer up in Michigan, and I won with her last year. She's 5 and sold her to a lady from Lookout Mountain, Tennessee. A lady, she's 84 years old.
Wow.
And she bought her last year at the state fair and left her with me. And she's won at the Lexington Junior League this year. I won at Kansas City with her last year. And she's to be a top contender for the fine harness division. And then we got a mare called Baby Steps that Ms. D. Wrigley rides. That's superstar. She's like in the ladies 3-gate division. She should be top contender. And we got several young ones. And I've got a mare belongs to Miss Wrigley or Miller now. Her name's Too Sweet to Kiss, and she'll be in the 5-gated championship on Saturday night. And she's really nice, so we'll see what happens there.
And who's riding her?
I
Are you
am,
going to be
yes.
riding her?
I'm doing her and Futurette myself. That's the only 2 I'll show. But Danny and Kelly be showing a lot, and then the owners will be showing most of them.
Yeah.
But I mean, I used to show all the young ones. All now Danny and Kelly are showing a lot of the young ones, and then the owners are showing. So we'll have like I say, right at 30. So
Wow.
we'll be busy.
Yeah. So when does that start? What's the date on that?
It's
20
Yeah, something 20 the.
or 18th to the 24th
Yeah, I think
or
that's
something
right.
like
Yes,
that?
yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Because they changed it. I think the date's a little different this year. And then they moved
Yeah.
our. Used to have a concert in on Saturday night, and then we would start showing on Sunday. Now they've done away with the concert. I think the concert will be after the following week. You know, we'll be there from Saturday until the following Sunday,
Okay.
and I stay there across the street at it's Crown Plaza now. It used to be Executive West. I've had the same room there for almost since I started showing there. So it's a little superstition.
I was
keep
going to
my
say,
same room.
you're doing that because, yeah, you
Well,
want to
I
make
just,
sure.
yeah, I got the room. I like it's right at the top of the steps, so it's convenient, and so anyway.
And you don't want to change up anything now?
Don't want to change anything, no.
Yeah. Well, that's good. Well, I want to congratulate you on your awards, Larry. And
thank you so much.
I know our community really appreciates that, as Springfield and Washington County. And we look forward to seeing what's going to happen this year.
Well, we'll keep our fingers crossed. So.
And good luck to you on that.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks
All right,
for being
appreciate
here.
it.
I
Thank you.
appreciate it.